Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I will be reading a Neuvillette Listener by me, so let's get into it. You shifted slightly in your sleep, nestled in the soft warmth of Neuvillette's bed, wrapped securely in his arms. His embrace was always your safe haven, a constant source of peace and serenity that you cherished. But tonight, something was different. A sudden wave of coldness crept over your skin, and without warning, you jolted awake, panic surging through you, your breath coming in short, ragged gasps as your body began to tremble uncontrollably. Your mind spun with the remnants of a nightmare that you couldn't quite grasp, the shadows of it still clinging to you like a fog you couldn't shake off. And you felt his arms tighten around you instantly, his voice a soft murmur in the dark. "Is everything all right?" You didn't answer immediately, too caught up in the fear and disorientation, but you turned your head slightly, burying your face in his chest, seeking comfort in his steady presence. The shaking did not stop, but Neuvillette's voice was still there, calm and gentle, as if coaxing you out of a storm. "Hey, you're all right. I'm right here." He shifted so he could cradle your face with one hand, tilting your chin up so you could meet his gaze. His eyes were soft and filled with concern. "Just breathe." When you tried to focus on his voice, on the familiar soothing cadence of it, slowly, you managed to take in a deep breath, though the trembling in your body did not subside entirely. "It was a nightmare," you finally whispered, your voice shaky and barely audible. His thumb gently brushed against your cheek, wiping away a tear you had not realized had fallen. "A nightmare? And what happened?" he asked softly, his brows furrowing just lightly. "I don't know. I don't remember it, but it felt so real. And now I can't stop shaking." You admitted, still pressed close to him. And Neuvillette's gaze remained steady, calm like the ocean before a storm. He did not rush you or press for more information. Instead, he pulled you closer, enveloping you in his warmth as if to shield you from whatever lingering fear still held you captive. "It's all right. You don't have to remember. Just focus on me. You're not alone," he whispered quietly, and you took another deep breath, the sound of his heartbeat beneath your ear, grounding you in the present. His fingers lightly traced patterns on your back, soothing the tension out of your muscles. "I'm sorry," you whispered, feeling embarrassed by how vulnerable you were being in this moment. "I didn't mean to wake you." He shook his head, pressing a soft kiss to the top of it. "Don't apologize for something like that. I would rather be here for you than wake up to find you struggling alone." His voice was so sincere, so unwavering in its conviction, that it eased some of the guilt that you felt. And for a few moments, neither of you spoke at all. The only sounds in the room were the rain outside and the steady rhythm of your breathing, gradually evening out with each passing second. Neuvillette's presence, his patience, was like an anchor that kept you grounded, helping you drift further away from the lingering fear in your head and any memories that you had of that nightmare. "I hate feeling like this," you muttered after a while, your voice a little stronger now. "It is stupid, but I feel so helpless when I wake up like that. I hate it." He sighed softly, tilting your head back once more. so he could look into your eyes. You're not helpless. Fear can be overwhelming, but that does not make you weak. It's part of being human. Though I would know you'd argue against me saying such a thing, especially without me being one. He says, a faint smile touching his lips. And you couldn't help the small laugh that bubbled up, his comment breaking through the last of the tension. Maybe, you admit it with a slight smile, but you're not really wrong. His hand continued to trace gentle circles along your back, his touch light and comforting. I do not expect you to be unshakable all the time, and it is quite unfair that you hold yourself to that standard. So, you should not expect that of yourself either. He murmured, his voice a soft tremble that seemed to wrap around you like a protective barrier from whatever dark thoughts that you had. And you leaned into him, your forehead resting against his chest, feeling the steady rise and fall of his breathing beneath you. You always know what to say. Thank you, Neuvillette. He pressed a gentle kiss to your hair, his arms tightening around you. It's because I know you. I see the strength in you, even when you cannot see it yourself. You smiled into his chest, the warmth of his words settling deep within you, easing the last of your trembling. You knew he was right, about everything. You weren't weak for feeling fear, and you certainly were not alone in facing it. Will you stay like this for a while? You asked quietly, your voice laced with the remnants of sleep and lingering vulnerability. As long as you need me to. I'm not going anywhere. He promised, his voice low and soothing. And with that, you finally allowed yourself to fully relax in his arms. The last of the fear in your mind finally ebbing away as the steady rhythm of his heartbeat lulled you back into a peaceful slumber, safe and secure in his embrace.